Settle down.
So welcome to tonight's show. You're Tom, Brian and Stephen. This is NRL from the Sidelines. In our penultimate show, gentlemen, for the year.
Ultimate for me.
Why?
I'm in Adelaide next week.
Ah.
So we won't have you next week.
No, you'll be able to make fun of me without me even being in the room.
We
do
got
that
nothing
anyway.
more to make fun of you about. Your team's been out forever.
So welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian and Stephen. This is our penultimate Less Brian show.
Ultimate.
Brian's ultimate show for next week.
Yes.
All right. So we're down to two teams. Let's talk about the prelims and see where we go from there. There's been some interesting things happen over the weekend.
Yeah.
And you're looking for an argument, aren't you?
I know. I'm not looking for an argument.
I get a feeling you're looking for
I
an
would
argument.
not argue with anyone.
I'm getting bored. Can you move on?
He's just open.
Is it a quick show tonight?
Yeah.
Mate, we've got barely anything to talk about.
That's right.
Trust me, it's going to be a quick show.
2 games. All right,
That's our
go.
normal show, isn't it?
Go. What are we going?
Eels 24 defeated the Cowboys 20.
What a disgraceful game that was.
Why was it
Refereeing
disgraceful?
decisions were terrible. The Cows were ripped off. The NRL wanted an all Western Sydney grand final. It's terrible.
They got one.
Yeah, I know.
That's not Jeff Tuvey enough.
Oh,
No.
sorry.
It
There's
needs
not
to be
an
an
investigation. Oh,
Yes.
there were some very bad calls against the Cows in that game.
Okay, can we talk about the
Yeah.
first bad call?
Oh,
Which one?
The forward pass.
The forward
The
pass.
forward pass. Yeah.
Okay, I said on the night that was absolutely disgraceful.
Yeah.
And I haven't changed from that, but you know what? I've mellowed about it.
Well, yeah.
Age allows you to mellow.
When you actually look where Moses' feet position are, it is forward, but it's not as
it's
forward
not
as you
think.
think it would.
No.
was.
But the thing that gets me about that one, all right, like now, and as I said, look, I'm hand on heart, I'm happy for referees and touch judges to make bad calls because
We all get it.
it all happens. The line's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
The linesman was right there too.
Yeah,
It was.
if that marking on the field wasn't there, you could argue, oh, geez, I don't know. But the fact that the line was there
But
and
Moses-
the touch judge was right
But Moses
there.
was over the line,
Yeah.
and when he passed it, it was still over the line.
It came out of his hands forward.
It was.
Yeah.
Look, let's be honest. It was a forward pass,
Yeah.
but it wasn't as bad as what I thought it was.
It was bad though.
It was an early try, so it
Yeah.
wasn't 10 minutes from the end.
Oh yeah.
Cowboys were 12 all at half time.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it changed. My point is, I don't think it changed the result.
Val Holmes' pass was probably forward too.
Oh,
Yes.
Please. Don't. Oh, please. Please. No. I mean, look. You
It
know
wasn't
what?
as bad.
Look, bad calls happen all the
Yeah,
time.
that's right,
It's and like I said, and I actually don't have a problem with that. We can blow up and go, human error. It's the ones that's coming up in the next game where the bunker interferes and they get it wrong.
No. They didn't get anything wrong. We'll talk about that later.
But the Eels' defence in the last 10 minutes was exceptional.
It
I
was.
think that's what won them the
yeah,
game in the end.
no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Just-
Look,
yeah.
and I felt for the Cowboys because they kept coming back into it, but they just couldn't come back into it.
Well, I was on the Eels, so I was really pleased that they won. But I thought Sean Lane's second half was the best half of by a
exceptional.
back rower for a long, long time.
Exceptional.
It was amazing. I mean, good enough that he's actually now in the conversation to go on the squad touring to England.
Yeah, but everyone's in that conversation at the moment.
But he would have been a long way from that conversation.
Yeah, one good game. I don't think so.
Oh, no. I think his finals have been good.
Yeah, I know.
Been really good, the
Look, I
finals.
think his last few months have been good, but I'm not sure he's in the he should be in the conversation.
No, we shouldn't.
So
Nothing you say about the Parramatta Eels is objective.
No. Look, Sean Lane, he was a try-scoring back rower at the Dogs, and I can't believe they let him go. Went to the Warriors, was a try-scoring machine at the Warriors. I can't believe they let him go.
This is it. But
yeah,
goes to Manly.
Goes-
Goes to Manly, failed miserably.
can't believe they
So-
let him
Can't believe
go.
that. let him
is, that,
go.
is that Sean Lane's fault or is that Manly's fault?
But
Well, given history, I think it's Manly.
But look, like I said, everybody's in that conversation for the Australian squad.
Yeah.
And there's no way he's in the top 4 or 5
No.
back rowers.
Not-
so I
no.
don't care what you say. One good month or 2 good months or 1 good year does not put you in that team.
But momentum's important.
Should
If
not.
you've
put
got
them.
momentum,
Yeah,
as a player-
momentum in a team is different. To,
What if he has a blinder
No.
in the grand final and virtually wins them the game?
if he single-handedly, well, that's not going to happen because they're not going to win.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
second.
Hey, we haven't got that far yet.
Second, second controversial moment, Steve. You said first. Was there a second?
There was, and I'm trying to think about it.
Tamalolo's sin bin.
Tomalolo's sin bin.
I thought that was disgraceful.
What, the sin binning or the fact it took 35 years to call it?
Yeah,
Because
the
the
timing
bunker,
was the problem.
because the bunker got involved.
It was 3 minutes after the.
It was but the problem was it was 3 sets after the after it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So and he wasn't placed on report. So there's no advantage to Parramatta apart from the man down.
And he gets 3 weeks.
I think that's a ridiculous decision. So you know what? I'll wear the forward pass, but that was dumb. I think that was worse because the bunker has come in and interfered with the game.
And the bunker needs to stop interfering with the game.
Yeah, if they don't see it straight away, I'm sorry, too bad.
I wonder if Latrell's in the bunker because they're both out of control.
That's true. Anyway,
You've got a thing on your trail. You've got to stop.
So that was a shocker. You're going to talk about another one?
Is there another one?
Oh, I thought then there were 2 dud calls to Parramatta.
So tell us about
But we
them.
don't have to talk about
Tell
those.
us about them.
Well, there was the penalty to the Cowboys when Wenger Blake pulled Luciano's hair.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? That's been a penalty all year.
No,
It
no.
had
He's
that
reaching
was-
for a jersey and he gets his hair.
He came up over the top and his hand got tangled in his hair.
It doesn't matter.
I thought that was a joke. You
the-
know what? You walk around with a girl's hair like that, you deserve to get it pulled.
The game.
He's fixed it.
The same thing happened a couple of months ago, and I remember we sat here complaining about it then.
Because
But
that's
it's always
because he got it and pulled it. This was a tackle where he slipped off
doesn't
and fell
matter. He
backwards.
pulled it. You don't
Open
pull
hand.
hair.
Open hand.
You can't pull on hair
That's
with
right.
an open
That's
hand.
right. You can't. Correct.
No, sorry.
It was a bad call. I can't remember
Did
the
you
other
hear
one
that,
was.
Steve Couchy?
Yeah, bad call. Parramatta. That was a bad call against Parramatta.
But should we be telling players not to have long hair?
We should be saying if it's accidental like that, then wear it.
Yeah,
Suck-
no,
suck
I-
up,
and I
princess.
agree.
Check your fingernails, check your boots, and here's a razor.
Yeah,
You know?
or a hairnet.
Amen. Yes.
Or a hairnet. You've got to wear it in a man bun.
Are we going to talk about the actual game now?
I thought
What
we
do you,
did.
well, I've been trying to get there.
Oh, sorry.
What do you think of the Cowboys?
I think.
Okay, Parramatta got smashed the week before.
Yeah.
Came into this game. The Cowboys have been running hot. Everyone's talking about momentum.
Yep.
Cowboys seem to.
I think Todd Payton summed it up. That was a good performance for the Cowboys for a team that finished second last year. They bought into his philosophy. They played hard. They played a season that most teams would be envious of.
Yep.
Yeah, look, and you know, I know people are going to say, "Oh, they won against the Cowboys in the last, against the Tigers in the last minute," and you know what? There's lots of dodgy calls in games, and I think that they had an effort to be proud of.
Yeah. Well, look at it. I mean, Jordan McLean had his best season in years.
Yep.
Ruben Cotter,
Yep.
never heard of him before this year. He's been terrific. And
Yep.
Nanai,
Yep.
I think what Todd Payton's done has been fantastic, and I hope he wins the Coach of the Year. But that's
I
my
think he
feeling.
will. And I thought after the game, the Parramatta press conference, I quite liked where Arthur said, he was asked about what going into the grand final. He said, "I don't know. I've never experienced it before."
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and and that honesty, I like that. I think that's cool.
All right, cool.
For sure.
So that's what I think about the Cows.
All right, let's
Yep.
go on to the next one.
Oh, let's.
Panthers 32 defeated the Rabbitohs 12.
Oh, that hurt you, didn't it?
It did.
Rabbitohs 12-0 up. I thought, geez, there's going to be there's an ambush happening here.
Let me just tell you, I was messaging every Panthers fan I could think of at 12-0.
But guess what happens? Coruscant comes on,
Oh,
Yeah.
scores a try,
Yep.
brilliant try too.
Oh, yeah.
And then that heartbreaker at halftime, my goodness.
Well, I'm going to say, I love Cody Walker, but that was his fault.
Yeah.
He should, if he'd gone for the legs instead of trying to grab the ball.
And then unfortunately, it was just a comedy of errors.
He
Then
tripped everyone
Cook,
else up.
Cook tripped up.
Yeah.
He would have got him probably.
Yeah, he would have.
And then Latrell, seriously, they're talking about Latrell. I thought he was actually fitter lately, and I know he's got a rib problem, but man, he was moving very slowly.
He was. Well, you do with a rib problem.
and he got hit
But he was needled.
really hard.
He got hit in the week before as well, very hard.
Oh, jeez.
So-
But he got hit legit.
I know. And that's
Spencer
why they
Leonard.
didn't talk about the injury, because they knew it'd get smashed, and they thought it'll just be even worse.
Yeah.
I mean, we had him needled up. We had Campbell Graham needled up.
Yep.
We had
Campbell Graham.
I know.
Jai Arrow needled up. We had no Tom Burgess. We had no Havili.
Yep.
You know what? I'm not going to make excuse. I think South's had
You
a
just
great
did.
year. No, I'm not.
Yep.
South's had a great year. I think they achieved. I don't think even you guys had them in the 8th.
No, they overachieved.
I didn't.
I thought.
I don't think they had. No, they didn't overachieve. They achieved well. They had a good year.
Yeah.
And I think they should be proud of it. And I'm
Sure.
am I disappointed? Of course I am. But
I feel for Campbell Graham. He's going to be in a world of hurt now. He
Why?
already had bruised ribs, and they absolutely pummeled him.
I know.
He got absolutely.
Yeah,
'cause
he's courageous,
Yeah.
Campbell Graham.
Well,
He is
yeah.
absolutely courageous.
He should be in the World Cup squad.
I can't believe he doesn't make the New South Wales team to start with.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he like I said last week, he was the player that I think put you guys in the game.
Yeah.
Like he led from the front. His defense was amazing, and his attack was brilliant.
Yep.
And the Panthers obviously saw that, and they went after him. And
Yeah.
they
We were saying 2 weeks ago when they played the Roosters the second time.
Yeah.
The addition of him and Cameron Murray made a massive difference.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look, to be honest with you, it was 12-0, 3 minutes to go from half time. They scored 12-all. That took the wind out of South. And I think from that point, they were just exhausted.
They were looking tired.
They were
I mean,
looking
it's
very
been a
tired.
tough month of football
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah,
It has.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Right?
And let's go this. How good are the Panthers coming?
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Far out.
I know.
Yeah, and I think what I noticed is that they were really rusty the first half because I think for all that rest, all that lack of gameplay,
Yeah.
just was showing they were rusty. But I think halftime is what they needed. And look, going in 12 all didn't hurt. But I knew they'd come out firing because I knew they'd get a rev up,
Oh, yeah.
and I knew they'd work out what they were doing wrong. And they did. They came out. I mean, it could have been
Yeah, but
50.
South
at
didn't
the
come
start.
out with the same intensity that
No.
they went in with either. So,
No.
like I said, I think they were just exhausted.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about Latrell, or are you going to leave him alone?
No. I got to say, he was very, very subdued. But then I found out after that he actually had the rib problem. So
Yep.
probably have to cut him some slack this week.
Brian, I want to pick up on something you said earlier before we started the show.
Why, certainly, Stephen. Go ahead.
About the fact that you would prefer, as a Manly
Yep.
supporter, that Manly never made the semis than drop out in the prelims.
Yep.
Can I say that's the stupidest statement I've heard in a long time?
I hate the prelims. I hate it. I hate them so much because you make that 8 and the expectation becomes so great. So great. You can't tell me, like I said, Manly lost. You know what? They didn't make the 8. You know, I've had to live with that for a couple of weeks and that's okay. You guys...
Oh, we went out first week. That
Yeah.
was unexpected.
That unexpected. You
Yeah.
see, but it wasn't
But
unexpected.
hang on,
was.
Manly made the prelims last year
Yep.
and were knocked out by South to get
Yep.
into the grand final. So
Yep.
you would have preferred they not make the 8 than play in that prelim. Is that what you're telling me?
Yep.
Wow. Kind of fan of you.
I'm a first. I'm a
Wow.
first.
Okay.
There's a first. There's a last, and there's everything in between. I
Can
don't want my hopes that far.
Can I
crushed.
just say to all the Parramatta supporters out there that Brian has been bagging all year, now I understand why you think he's crazy.
Tell him to eat some concrete.
Oh, jeez, me. I'm all right. It's Parramatta that are going to need the concrete, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Anyway, you want to say any more about this game?
No, only that the Panthers did the little things right. They were exceptional. I don't know how they're going to be stopped.
Now, there was a little tackle by Tane Mill,
Little.
an accidental,
Far out, man.
an accidental swing.
Well,
even I can't do it with a straight
Latrell's was
face.
accidental. That was
So
deliberate.
Jason Demetrio says you should throw the book at Jared Warrior-Hargraves. He was strangely silent about Tane Mill.
Of course he was.
Yeah, well, Tane's was...
And 2 weeks before he gets two sin bins.
Yeah,
but
he's
that
was
got
nothing.
form.
That was
Yeah.
Harry doesn't have
I'm
form.
surprised
yeah.
he didn't get 8 weeks. Seriously.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, you are too, aren't
Yeah.
you? Yeah, he should have got 10 weeks.
That's right. You can serve it in.
Put him
tri-
in jail.
You know what? Don't
till
worry,
next
don't worry,
season.
Steve. You know what you do? You start your season early. You play 4 or 5,
Warm-up
warm-up games.
games.
Yeah, and then he starts the season because apparently the NRL lets you do that.
Yeah,
kind of
well,
game.
that's right.
Isn't it interesting though? Warrior Hargraves is going to be happy to play a trial game, which is, this is all stupid, but a trial game and a couple of nobody teams in the World Cup. And Tamalolo's going, no, I want to take all my suspensions in the regular season.
Because he wants to play for his country.
Of course he does, yeah.
And
but it's just interesting, different attitudes.
I honestly think if we're going down this path, that's what it should be. If you get suspended in NRL...
I think it's the same. I think it's the same in State of Origin.
Okay, let's look at it this way. Tane Milne has been picked for Fiji.
Yep.
It's 4 games.
Yep.
So he'll come back to South next year and only have 2 to play. Is that fair?
No, I don't think so.
Is it really fair?
And Jared won't miss any time, and that's not right either.
Yeah,
I mean, I still think 3 weeks is too long, but I think it's wrong.
Yeah,
A player who doesn't get picked for a squad has to use all his games next year. Why should not those who get picked for a squad also have to lose all their games for next year?
You've got to have one rule. It's got to be consistent.
No, I agree.
Yeah, and it's always been that it counts towards your next matches. It's always been that way.
But the next matches you're normally under World Cup, where Jared and Tane and a few others.
Hang on. Your next matches could be a grand final. It could be a State of Origin. Yeah. You know what? You do something stupid on the field, you deserve to wear it.
Unless you tell him, mate.
Tom Burgess misses 2 semi-finals.
Hang on. Taylor May's different. All those people out there that are whinging, Taylor May's different.
No, he's not.
Yes, Tane Milne belted someone on the field.
Yep.
Hargraves belted someone on the field.
Yep.
Tamalolo belted someone on the field.
Yep.
You know what? You serve your suspension.
And
May cleared by the police, but the NRL decided to act on an incident
He wasn't
outside
cleared
of the
by the
game.
police.
Yes, he was innocent. No charge.
No charge, but he
No
wasn't
charge.
cleared by the police.
No charge. That's free. That's home free.
No,
So
he
the NRL decided
assaulted
to
someone.
take the
No, he
law
got fined.
into their own
So
hands.
he wasn't
He got
charged. He got
The
fined.
NRL decided to take the law into their own hands for an incident that didn't occur on the field. It's an entirely different incident.
Not entirely different.
It
If you
is.
suspend
By the
player,
way,
you suspend
I still think she shouldn't have played. And you know what? I'm just going to say this because I don't know him. The poor kid's busted his hamstring. He's been out for 2 weeks.
And
If he just copped it, he would have been right.
He got binned in the game he played anyway.
So yeah, I think it's entirely different.
All right, you're wrong.
NRLW.
Okay, so look, I've included this because you had a shot at me last week. So gone for 22: Storm, Roosters, Raiders, Sharks, Cowboys, and Rabbitohs.
Yes.
And then there were 2.
Yep.
Okay. Before we get on to the grand final, gentlemen, let's talk PM versus PNG.
Yep. What an interesting game that was.
Both floggings, male and female.
Yep. I don't know what to say about that. You know what? When they take the game, this is the disappointing thing. When they take the game to Papua New Guinea, and you see the churned up field, the place is packed. It's screaming with atmosphere. It's a game that you feel passionate about. The Kumals come out there and they belch into next week. The most brutal games I've ever seen were up there. This was like the sanitised version.
Yeah.
It was like let's wipe everyone clean and boys, don't get hurt too much. Let's have a squad of 25 players with unlimited energy.
And the point is,
it was just ridiculous.
The point is, it's played at a time where the grand final hasn't happened, and the most likely players to get into that side are still got a week to play.
Well,
and the same thing happened with PNG.
Yeah, I know.
They're missing a heap of
but it's probably lucky because if those 2 teams, it was 64 to 12 or whatever it was, if you then include Cleary and a whole bunch of other players, it'll be 120.
Yeah, but hang on. If you also include all the PNG Super League and NRL
Buckland
players,
Justin Olam,
they didn't have anyone. They had reserve grade Queensland Cup.
Yeah.
It's a game that I look forward to at the end of the year, and that was disappointing.
So why should we play it? All right. Penrith lower grade success.
Cool.
They win Jersey Flag. They win they won New South Wales Cup.
Yep.
They've won a whole bunch of stuff.
Four.
Yep.
And they're about to win
16, 18s, reserves, under 21s. They're what the heck?
So
I was going to say, believe it or not, I had this conversation with my mum because my dad's going, I hate Penrith. And I'm going, why? They're going to win this year. They're going to win next year. They're going to win the year after. And they're going to win. And my mum's going, what do you mean? And I go, and she says, why? How did they do that?
You're going to get your talent scouts out there, aren't you?
Honestly,
I know what you're saying about. Well, I know what you're saying about going to win for the next 8 years. I'm not sure they will.
Oh no, but
I tell you what, they're certainly in good standing for the next few years.
Just talking about talent scouts, I don't know whether any Manly supporters watch this show, but there's a big divide in
Not
my
after
club.
listening to you.
There's a big divide in my club at the moment because there's one faction that pushed towards having Blacktown as a feeder club,
Yep.
and there's one faction that goes, we should just be concentrating on the
You
Northern
told me
Beaches.
a couple of weeks ago there was no.
Yeah, you said
No,
go
no,
away.
supporter
You said go away.
factions. Yeah, I don't want. But isn't it funny that the Panthers can go in there, trample over everyone, and here you said, why aren't there talent scouts there? Manly have a club associated with Western Sydney,
Yeah.
and they can't do anything with it.
And that club came where in the New South
For the
Wales
last
Cup?
3 years.
There you go.
Like I don't get it.
Yeah.
So it's not just something about Western Sydney. It's
No,
something about that club.
About
pathway.
Penrith, about
Alright.
the pathways they've set up.
Now
Success breeds success.
Yeah.
People want to be there.
All right. What else you got?
Eels in both grand finals.
Well, I was going to bring that up with the NRLW, but
we,
thanks for stealing my thunder.
we can talk about that.
So NRLW, the two games, the Knights and the Dragons rematch from last week, and the result was much the same. Knights 30, Dragons 6. And what was the most shocking game and disappointing game was the Roosters, the unbeaten minor premiers, went down 24-10 to the Eels. They just wanted it more. I don't know what was going on with the Roosters. The coach didn't know either. Really, really disappointing. But in the end, if anybody had to beat us, I was glad it was the Eels. And yes, now that means that the Eels are in both grand finals. Yeah, the Eels haven't got into a grand final for what, 10 years or something, or 13 years or something.
Yeah,
2009. And now both teams get in the grand final. You just wouldn't have picked that, would you?
No. Can I say how disappointed I am though in the women's league that you can win one game in the season
yeah.
and make the grand final?
Well, the Roosters did it last year. They won one game,
Yep.
and it was only because the Eels got smashed by the Broncos that we actually got into the semis and went and won the premiership. It's stupid. It's ridiculous.
It's embarrassing for the game though.
Well, it's going to change next year.
Well, it has to because you shouldn't be able to not win anything, but now be in a grand final and I hope.
And a
winning
season that goes 7 weeks.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So next year there'll be 10 teams. They'll probably have a top 5 or a top 6 maybe. You'll have to win a significant number of games to get there.
Yeah.
Who knows what the competition is going to look like next year because, while the new teams coming in will have a number of players, this is all just going to change around. There's going to be players going left, right and centre.
Because they're only signed for 12 months at a time.
Yeah, so very disappointed for the Roosters.
Grand final, gentlemen, Penrith Panthers versus the Parramatta Eels. What are your thoughts? I'm not going to ask you because I know what you're going to say.
You don't know what I'm going to say.
All right, what are you going to say?
I'm just going to refer back to one of your comments. One of your comments, Steve.
Yes.
What's he got?
Yeah, just talk.
Brad Arthur said, I don't know, I haven't been there before. None of them have. This week is going to absolutely kill them. It's going to knock them around. The supposed Foxtel experts, who aren't as good as us, are also
Who watch us, by the way, I'm sure.
who are all saying exactly the same thing. So Cooper Cronk, it all depends on how you handle the week. Gordon Tallis, all depends on how you handle the week. Ennis, all depends on how you handle the week.
But don't you think Brad Arthur's getting advice from someone about how to handle
You'd
the week?
think so.
Yeah, there's a difference between living it, because got to remember, Penrith have lost and then won grand finals. I can't see them. I can't see this week getting to them and affecting them. Add to that, mate, they're a mighty good team.
But you also have to factor in the fact that the Eels haven't been here for a long time. They know that they're unlikely to get there in the next couple of years, the way they're going. So there's going to be a lot of hunger there.
What pressure!
And they've
What
beaten.
pressure?
But hang on, they've beaten Parramatta twice this year.
Yeah, and Penrith. No,
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, they've beaten
They've
Penrith
beaten themselves,
twice.
have they?
yeah, and
Okay.
Penrith have beaten them.
Yeah.
Your point?
They can do it.
No, well,
There was only a handful of teams that beat Penrith this year,
Yeah,
and they were one of them.
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced.
So you're going Penrith?
I'm going Penrith, but I must admit, if anyone's still listening to me out there that supports Parramatta, because I'm sure the listeners are, but the Parramatta supporters are all tuned out, they have surprised me. And I just really hope that your 36-year drought continues.
What do you think about
Brian's comments are not the reflection of the show. Yes.
what do you think about Nathan Brown being put on the bench after 12 weeks in the wilderness?
Oh, good. I'm glad he did. He needs to be.
Well, I hope he's had some form.
Well, I don't know. I haven't been
Maybe he's had
watching
some
him.
form.
Juniors
He's coming with some
So
form.
yeah,
hopefully.
my point about this game is, apart from the fact that I think Penrith have been the form team all year, they're running in hot 32 unanswered points against a defensive South Sydney that have been exceptional over the last 6 weeks, versus a hot cold Parramatta who have now had a hot game.
Okay, so you're on Panthers.
Yep.
Tom?
And I am on the Eels.
Oh, that hurts my eyes. It's
Remember, we
offensive.
used to have this hanging up in the show.
Oh, it is so offensive.
Yeah, well, can you look after that for me?
Oh,
Parramatta Eels for me.
You're a brave man. I wouldn't have even done that.
Yeah.
man, I'd rather wear a South jersey.
Well, I've got pictures of you doing that. I'm happy to show everybody later.
So why Parramatta?
Oh, look, I think it's a subjective decision. I just think they're not going to get a better opportunity than this for a long time. I think that they proved last week that they could overcome some big odds. I mean, the weather was against them, the crowd was against them, the ground was against them. I thought they were tremendous, and especially that last 10 minutes. If they replay that last 10 minutes of defence, that'll be enough to get them fired up.
No, they've got to do that for 80 minutes.
Oh,
Anyway,
I know that.
Anyway,
Yeah, but-
Steve, you're going to have
but
to
they're
break
great.
the deadlock.
Yep.
I can't. My heart wants Parramatta to win. My head says Penrith will win.
And me too. But I'll be on
Oh,
Parramatta.
my heart's black and evil, man. It wants them to lose.
Tell us anything.
No. I would like Parramatta haven't won for 30-something years.
36.
36 years. I know what it was like with South in 2014 when we hadn't won for 42 years or whatever it was.
Don't you want them to beat that record? I do.
So
No.
we're gonna watch the
I'll be in Adelaide.
He'll win Adelaide.
Oh, right, okay.
I'll be drinking red wine from a little bar in Adelaide.
So I can't tempt you with if Parramatta win, you have to wear this jersey.
Well, I'd have to torture you first. I'd say you can if you pull out all your fingernails with a pair of pliers, because that's about how painful it would be.
All right, footy tips. There's 1 week to go, and
Yep.
Brighton 75 is definitely our winner. He's 6 points in front. Why does that upset you?
9th position, even
Yeah.
though I missed the tip.
St. Mick Roosters, Isedo, Gordon Scott, Amigo Panthero, Keenaz, Penny Proud, Chooks Rule, and Caesar. And guess what? Brighton has won.
And who's Brighton? Who is he? Are we allowed to say who he is?
I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want us to say who he is. Anyway,
Probably
yes,
doesn't.
Brighton has won.
Brighton has won. A hearty congratulations from all of us here at NRL from the sidelines.
Because we're incredibly cheap.
Oh my goodness.
We have nothing to give you except our congratulations. So well done.
I must admit, it did come down to a tight competition there at the
It was.
end.
It was very good.
Poor old Amigo Panthero fell off at the end. He tried to take the lead and made some very silly picks.
Preacher beat me on for and against.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
So, okay.
What else you got, Steve?
And I beat his wife.
That's it.
That's it. That's the show. That's the penultimate show for this
Yes.
week. And your ultimate.
Well, I'd love to. I can't fly back to Adelaide.
Well,
from
don't
Adelaide.
go. Don't
Yeah.
go.
Don't go.
Change it.
Don't go.
Don't go.
He likes his life.
Don't go.
I want to go.
Why? It's Adelaide.
I want to drink red wine with
They
friends.
play AFL football over there.
Yeah, I know, but I'm going to convert them. I'm going to be wearing a different Manly jersey every day that I'm there.
Oh man, you're
You
gonna
don't
get
have
beaten
that
up.
many.
You're gonna get absolutely hammered, beaten up. You're gonna be beaten.
Do we want to talk
senseless.
about the Swans?
No,
No.
it's an NRL
It's an
show.
NRL show.
And what would I
the
say?
Eels.
What would I say? Yeah, the team that was formerly South Melbourne lost the grand final to, I don't know, another team.
The Geelong Cats.
They lost to Cats.
Well, the Eels are going to lose to Cats probably
No,
on the
they're not.
weekend.
No, they're going to win again. No, the Panthers going to win. Rawr.
All right, that's it. Thank you for watching. This is NRL from the sidelines, and we appreciate you watching. Enjoy the show. We'll see you next week.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
Next year.
Go to your
No.
Oh! Stop doing that. It's horrible.